All right, so like we promised, we're doing a little show post E3. There was kind of like no time to do it during E3 because
Because
awesomely,
of E3.
yeah, awesomely enough, we had a 3-day Battlefield 4 live stream going on as well, which you could watch the replay of that actually on the All Random Gaming stream too. But let's get right to it. I'm reading some of the comments on this first article that we're gonna get into. We are live streaming once again, by the way, for those of you that are listening on iTunes or anything else, post production, I guess. You could watch this from now on, it seems, because it went really well last time. We'll be doing a live stream of the podcast while we're recording it and everything, so you guys could actually see what we're talking about, and if not, you could just watch it on YouTube.
And you can also chat about it.
Right, so like I always like to do, we'll go kind of in order of the news that we've put together for you guys, or try to stay in order because Infidel has ADD and all that. So,
Yep.
first thing I want to talk about is gonna be a quick thing. Someone mentioned it on Twitter to Xbox support, which this is obviously an official handle for Xbox related support, and they revealed that there will be a limit of 1,000 friends on Xbox One.
Yeah, because everyone's gonna exceed that.
Yeah, I was waiting for. I mean, if you wouldn't have said it, I was gonna say it. I've never reached a thousand, 100 friends on Xbox 360. Uh,
Because you regularly clean your friends
right.
list.
It's called filtering your friends list people. I mean, you don't need to have someone on your friends list that hasn't been online for like 3 years. Which otherwise would actually say offline, which a lot of people still don't notice that. If someone hasn't been online for a long time, it'll just start saying offline next to their name, and that's because they haven't updated their Xbox lately. So yeah, I don't see. I mean, I don't care for 1,000 friends, but would people tweet to Xbox support is a question from Bappa. Yeah, I actually have tweeted Xbox support. It's highly rated actually. The Xbox support thing on Twitter, they've gotten awards and stuff for being like the best customer service that's internet based or something. But yeah,
I think them saying that the friends list limit is 1,000 is saying it's unlimited because they're not gonna say it's unlimited because everyone's gonna be, oh my god, it's unlimited. Uh, they're gonna put a limit on it, and no one's ever going to reach 1,000 unless they aim for that.
yeah, exactly. Which again, in that case, like I don't understand why how you could play. I mean, okay, let's say you have a library of 30 games. They're all multiplayer games. I would say at least the most people you're ever gonna play with simultaneously on each game is maybe I would say 20, 30 people. It's not
Yeah.
gonna be a huge number like 1,000 people.
Maybe there's going to be an achievement for getting the max out your friends list.
Yeah, that's the other thing. Bappa once again is here in the live stream, and he's mentioning that the only time people clean out anything is when it gets full, because that's the only time they'll realize and be like, oh man, now I need to make space, whatever. So I guess if someone ever ends up reaching 1,000 friends, that's the only time they'll filter it out. Similar to when you have a hard drive and you don't keep track of the amount of space you have left. But let's go into the next thing. This is a hilarious article that popped up on the internet. Um, I want to say this was the 14th of June. Was that during E3? It was, right?
14th, yes. E3 started the 11th, I believe.
Right. So, um, as some of us may know, or hopefully all of you, you didn't miss the conference in any way. The Xbox One was obviously announced. The price of it was announced. More details were given about the DRM and how all that works, which is digital rights management, which is basically the reason apparently everyone is jumping onto the PlayStation 4 bandwagon. But I would like to say that that's just because everyone is being very ignorant about how it all works on the Xbox One. So
PlayStation 4 bandwagon.
yeah, that's what I've been calling it. I've been getting all kind of hate tweets on Twitter because of it, but it's true. No one is informing themselves, and they're just saying, "Oh my God, $100 less," and apparently I could give my used games to my friends. I mean, if you read an article like this, like the one that I'm looking at, which is to get to explaining it, first of all, this is an anonymous Xbox engineer, and it's a hilarious article I read about first half of it, but it's so good. Like this guy is cursing up a storm and everything, and he's just being like brutally honest. And the biggest thing you could get out of this article is what Xbox One is going to do is basically turn into a service that works kind of like Steam does. If you realize a lot of PC games nowadays are digital downloads, and people aren't complaining, that they can't send the game to their friends. They just say, hey, check this game out. It's on a weekend trial right now through Steam. You could play it, and if you like it, buy it. All of us do that already.
Yeah. Honestly, how many people actually let people borrow their games?
I don't. I mean,
Probably like a 1% of the entire population.
yeah, I don't. I mean, I do this. I've always done the same thing with my friends. If anything, which we'll go into the details of how the Xbox One will work. But if anything, my entire life, from N64 days and all that, either way, my friends have come over to my house or something, and they play the game for a good 10 minutes, and they're like, "Oh man, I'm gonna go get this game. I'll get it tomorrow, whatever." That's how it's always worked for me. I don't trust my friends with borrowing my games, to be honest, because I'm always afraid that they'll lose it, scratch it, break it, things like that.
The only time that in like the past 10 years that I've wanted to borrow a game is right now. And I'd have to borrow a console for it too because of The Last of Us, which we'll get into later.
Yeah, so like usual, we'll have all these articles in the show notes, so you guys should take a look at that. But just to give the basics, like I said, it's gonna be based more on a Steam model. It's not gonna be identical, all the game trials and all that, but this will having digital downloads available on release day for games at the same time as the retail disc is a huge thing. First of all, because I've wanted that since the Xbox 360 came out and they tried doing the games on demand thing.
Yeah.
And, doing this digital thing, this Xbox engineer, again, he remained anonymous, but he's literally revealing a bunch of things about exactly what they plan on doing. They will be able to sell those digital downloads at a cheaper rate, provide discounts, provide bundles, again, similar to Steam. And,
it makes sense. It makes sense that they can discount it because they're not paying to put it on a disc and sell it on the disc.
Right, exactly. So the other thing he goes into is exactly how the DRM works, which is also part of this other article that we have here, which is again someone just detailing how DRM works. They've had an interview with a couple of Xbox people, and they're explaining it, and they give a good scenario about it. We already knew this, which I think I even talked about this in the last episode, which is that if you go to a friend's house, all you need to do is log in with your gamer tag, and they could play that game. Like, that's how it's going to work when you want to play in someone else's house to begin with. So you just log in, and you could play the game there, and it'll download everything from your cloud. You could play your games anywhere, basically. And the way it works at that point is if they want to purchase that game, then obviously they could just download it or go buy it in the retail store.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm trying to read some of the comments here.
Yeah, and another thing is, with digital downloads that are available on release, it really gets rid of those times, when everyone's on a mile-long line outside a GameStop waiting for their midnight release game.
Right, like one of these articles says, again, I think it's awesome. Like, I keep thinking about it, and I get more excited for it about the fact that you'll be able to download a game on release day, just like having, a PC game, basically. You've been doing that for a lot of years already, where you could just download it and you do the preload and all that. And it's funny because one of the articles, I had mentioned it to you before we started, they literally say, yeah, you don't have to stand next to that smelly guy anymore at midnight, just waiting to get a copy of Halo 4 or whatever, who hasn't showered for like a week.
Because he's been standing there waiting for it for a week.
Yeah, exactly. They probably forgot to mention that part. So I want to go into the whole reselling and trading to close this off, which is you will still be able to trade in your games if you buy a disc version of the game, of course. You could still take it to GameStop. They'll give you a whopping $1 for it, even though you bought the game like a week ago. And the way the trading thing works, as far as letting your friends keep a game or selling the game to someone, is there's only two restrictions. Again, I mean, I'm trying to inform you guys hopefully you all spread the word about this podcast because this is why a lot of people are going to the PlayStation 4 because they're not informed about this. So the first thing is if you give the game to someone to keep so that they could play it, for the rest of their life or whatever, they need to be on your friends list for at least 30 days is the first requirement.
That's interesting.
Otherwise, there will somehow be charged or whatever, or it'll say that, the game belongs to so and so person. Second thing is, each game can only be given to someone else once. So,
And then they're stuck with it?
right. So obviously, again, that's obviously working through the cloud system. You'll play this game the first time, then you could only give it to one other person, and I guess after that, there will be some type of cloud security saying that, hey, you need to purchase this game because this has already been owned by two other people. And if you read these articles, the point of that, if you think about it, is they're helping the developers actually. Because yeah, someone, you always have the word of mouth effect. We all do it. We're playing online games and we tell someone else, you've told me to play War Thunder even though I ignored you, and I finally decided to play it on my own.
And now you think it's the best game you've ever played.
Yeah, and so that's protecting the developers, which I think is a great thing that Microsoft is doing, because they're saying, hey, you know what? We're gonna help you guys out because again, this is Microsoft doing this with their console, so everything is gonna be, one system. There's gonna be no complications as far as which developer you're buying the game from and all that. And they're saying, okay, so two different people could own the game. If 10 other people want to own it, if they're part of a clan or something, they're gonna have to go buy it, and that's helping the developer, which I think is great. Because otherwise, if you think about it, if they don't have security like that, first of all, people will just be, tossing the game all over the place because games now on the Xbox One will not require a disc ever again after the first time you install it on your Xbox One, which is, supposedly, if you're smart about it, you do it the first time you ever put the disc in, and then you won't need it ever again.
Before we stray too far away, back on the topic of trading in games at GameStop, I'm absolutely sure that probably a year into the life of the Xbox One, they will somehow have a way to trade in your digital download games.
Right. But I mean, that's something, I think if Steam hasn't done that yet, there's really no, I don't think anyone else is going to be able to think of a proper way to do it. Because again, this Xbox engineer that has remained anonymous, he references Steam a lot, and he's saying that they got the ideas from Steam, which is a great system so far. And it's interesting because I wasn't there in the beginning of Steam because it came out a while ago, and I had my huge period of not playing PC games overall. But people were complaining the same way when Steam got into all this, the whole digital downloads, and they had no trade system for the actual games and all that. And then look at people now. I mean, everyone tries to buy everything on Steam, and there's no arguments about it. So I think it's just something that people have to adapt to. Again, they're helping the developers with the whole DRM thing. Also, I'm reading the comments, the fat mofos talking about the problem about checking in every 24 hours. That's something that actually reminded me that that's part of the protection for the whole used game thing. They have to make sure that they have that security, and that's where it requires a 24-hour login at least, because they're gonna check if this game has been played by 3 other people within that period or something like that, and then they'll block it. So that's the purpose of the 24-hour check.
Was that confirmed, the 24-hour check? Because I don't believe that's
confirmed. That is confirmed, yes.
Are you kidding? Okay, I didn't think they would actually do that.
Yeah.
Maybe for specific games, but to use your console at all, I doubt that will be it. I think it's just for to play specific games that require internet or something.
Yeah, we have Bappa in the live stream who's, a lot of people are saying this too. The world isn't ready for a digital-only console. I think it's something that's progressive. Again, referencing to Steam, in the beginning people were complaining about it as well, but now everyone pretty much wants to use Steam. It's going to be a person-by-person basis. I'm ready for an online-only console, whatever you want to call it. Digital-only console. I've been ready.
Yeah, but that's you with your amazing internet that's always working.
Yeah, that's probably well, not probably. That is another issue. Some people that might have slower internet. Supposedly, the 24-hour check that's required by the Xbox One will also uh, background download updates and all that. So that might
Makes
take a
sense.
while for some people, and they will have to wait for those downloads to finish before they could even play the game, and that might take a while.
Yeah, it all depends on the internet, really.
And once again, Bappa then calls himself a hypocrite because he's borrowing The Last of Us, which we'll actually get into coincidentally, from a friend, but he's waiting for his friend to finish it. So there's an example of, a whole Xbox One thing where one person is playing the game, they actually want to finish the game, and then they're going to give it to someone else. So after that person plays it, then, whoever else wants it, they'd have to go buy the game. Which at that point, honestly, now that I think about it, if you've convinced two other people to get the game, obviously, it's worth it. It's worth buying. So, it's helping the developer, which I think is awesome.
Yep.
A final thing I want to get into is the whole DRM thing.
Which I found out recently is not related to the designated marksman rifle at all.
Right, it's just a letter difference, I think, of the placement. I mean, I'm just assuming.
Yep.
The final thing, closing off with the PlayStation 4, is that yes, the Xbox is doing all this, and it's all going to be part of the console. The PlayStation 4 is going to have DRM. What people aren't understanding is that by not integrating it into the console like Xbox One is doing, developers are going to be doing this per game or per developer base. So you're going to have PlayStation 4 games that you're going to require them to be installed, or you got to put the disc in, every 24 hours or something like that. Have the disc inserted every 2 days, whatever the developer does. So instead of having this streamlined system with the Xbox One, the developers are going to be doing this either way on the PlayStation 4 as well.
Yeah. Do we know if the PlayStation 4 is going to be backwards compatible?
I'm not sure. I don't know if anyone in the stream will bring that up. We'll give them some time to maybe answer that. Another thing I was just reminded about is that on the Xbox, when the Xbox One releases, I'm imagining probably on the specific release date. I don't know how they're going to do it with Xbox 360. It'll probably be also the fall update for this year. But Microsoft points are going to be eliminated completely.
Wah, wah, wah.
So that's some big news for a lot of you guys. I know I have my close to 10,000 Microsoft points still sitting on my account because I'm very greedy with them.
You best spend those.
So the Microsoft points are going to be eliminated. It's going to be direct transactions. All regions are going to be balanced as far as money exchange and all that, as far as the value of the games or whatever you're downloading. And the even better news, which thank God they thought about this, is that if you have Microsoft points sitting in your account and then this transition happens where they eliminate it, they will convert those Microsoft points, and you might even get extra money's worth for those Microsoft points that you have in your account. So they will convert it for you if you don't use it.
Okay, so Bappa is saying neither PS4 or Xbox One are backwards compatible. I knew about Xbox One.
Right, we know Xbox One is not. Someone else, Darkvine Studios, is saying yes, they are. So I'm not sure about that. Once again, we're getting neither PS4 or Xbox One are backwards compatible. Yeah, again, I don't plan on buying the PS4, so unfortunately, I don't have the information on that. But
yeah, I'm definitely not buying it either. I was just curious.
Yeah, so since we're on the topic of PS4 and we mentioned The Last of Us, now Infidel is going to go into his lovely
Peggy 18
analysis of The Last of Us, I guess.
I guess. Oh yeah, very very good. We got ourselves a video now. So, The Last of Us. I don't have a PS3, so I've never actually played it myself. But I went very in depth into watching the storyline and cutscene videos and some gameplay walkthroughs, and I gotta say, it is the best storyline in a video game I've ever seen. It may be even better than any storyline in a movie I've ever seen. So, if I was able to, I would definitely borrow a PS3 from a friend and then go out and rent The Last of Us from Redbox or something.
Right.
I also think that if anyone in the movie industry is smart, they will try and buy the rights for this and make it into a movie.
Now, when you say that, you mean you want them to produce the exact same storyline?
The exact same storyline
Okay.
into a movie.
Okay, yeah, because I mean it's happened before, and not to say that the movies have been good or bad, but they try to do a sequel based on the game with the movie or things like that. They've done that with Dragon Ball Z, Pokemon, other movies like that. So we're being told
I'm
not to
not. Don't
spoil.
worry. I'm not spoiling it.
Now, one
Um,
thing I want to point out real quick before you continue also is this game looks incredible, and I want to point out that it's because obviously the PS3 has been out for a while to begin with, and these are the same creators, Naughty Dog from Uncharted. And so,
Uncharted. Yep.
yeah.
Um. Okay, so no spoilers here because it happens literally like 5 minutes into the game. But 5 minutes into the game, it already had me like glassy-eyed.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because there was a really sad death at the beginning,
Hmm.
like right at the breakout. Honestly, if World War Z would completely scrapped everything it had and made this, I would probably like buy a movie theater and just play it over and over and over and over and over.
Now this isn't a is this a zombie game though? Since you're mentioning World War Z.
Not necessarily.
Okay.
It. I guess it's zombies, but they're not traditional zombies. Basically, it's a parasite which actually exists. This is real science. Where in like the Amazon area, South Africa, South America, somewhere, I don't know.
Something.
South something in tropical region, there's a parasite that latches on to insects such as ants and basically burrows its way into their minds and controls them.
Oh.
Basically, the developers thought, hey, what if this happened to humans, and made this game.
Oh, okay, I understand now. Yeah, because initially I remember this game was pretty much, it's been teased for a long time. I remember seeing videos probably last year of it, and I immediately thought, they had the whole like post-apocalyptic scenario, and I immediately thought it was something like I Am Legend, where you're just trying to survive. Which
Yeah.
I guess it's still the same idea, because the movie I Am Legend, you have those people that were like not necessarily zombies, they were just like either juiced up and they wouldn't really be affected by any damage or anything or other things like that.
Yeah. In this, it's 20 years after the outbreak of the infection, and in various cities there are quarantine zones that are still controlled by a very oppressive military force.
Right.
This, by the way, these are no spoilers. This is actually
Right,
this-
it's just
everyone-
a story.
everyone
yeah.
that's basically seen the trailer has heard of this.
Right.
And yeah, so it's 20 years later, and this dude, his name is Joel. He's a smuggler, and he's basically charged with smuggling out this girl out of the city and taking her somewhere else. I would say why he's smuggling her, but that's a spoiler, so I'm not saying that.
Right, which this little girl is actually should be familiar to many people as well, because she's a movie actress. I don't remember her name right now. I want to say it's Ellen Page, maybe.
That sounds right.
Yeah, and so the girl, like they usually do, they bring in some type of facial characteristics. In this case, the girl looks identical to her, just obviously younger, and she does the voice acting for the character as well. So you have at least that actress part of the story as well, which adds some quality to the game, I guess.
Yep. From what I've seen in gameplay, I believe there's still some bugs in it, but overall the storyline is good. I'm not one to talk about how the game feels because I've never played it, but I know the storyline was amazing.
Now, by bugs, are these like game-breaking bugs or?
No, not really game-breaking bugs, but kind of like little glitches where if you're going down a ladder, like it'll knock you back up the ladder or something
Okay.
for a second, and it's just like, whoa, what was that? Keep playing.
Well, I mean, I would honestly say that ladders and stairs are still a big challenge for a lot of
Yeah.
games nowadays. All these games look so great, but then when you have to climb a set of stairs, it's like, oh boy.
Yeah, this is not necessarily a combat-based game. I mean, there's combat, but it's basically you trying to get through places. There's a lot of like, hey, you gotta let me boost you up there. You get the ladder,
Yeah, a lot
take
of
it
hey,
down.
we
I'll
gotta
climb
figure
the
out how to get
ladder.
to the roof, and then you
Yeah,
start moving things around like we just saw in this video. He moved the bed and got
yeah,
to a higher elevation to access the stairs.
and then you kill stuff.
Now, Fat Mofo, I don't know if he's trolling us because I was pretty sure that Ellen Page was her name, but he says the girl's name is Ashley Johnson. So I don't know if that's real or not.
Hang on, just talk about something. I'll find out.
Oh, okay. Now here, I guess you said it's not combat based, but he is looking into some type of an apartment complex, and he's you can see on the top left of the heads up display he had a pistol. Now he has an empty bottle that it seems like he's gonna throw into the apartment.
Yes, there is an enemy called the Clicker, which has been infected for a long time, and they are blind, and they see using echolocation like bats or blind people.
Okay. But these are fully grown adults. Like, is that what we're seeing here in the video right now? I'm guessing. He seems to have thrown the bottle, and literally all of them just swarms around the bottle, and they're like looking
They
around.
they hunt for sound,
Okay.
or unless we're fighting humans right now, I'm not really paying attention. But you can do that to humans too, and they'll be like, "Hey, what's that?" By the way, the actress is Ashley Johnson.
Yeah, it is Ashley Johnson from Johnson and Johnson shampoo. Uh, yeah. We're getting some comment from Bappa that says his friend that's playing it. There's a lot of sneaking around and not making a lot of noise, is what you have to
Yeah.
avoid. So it's a little slow at the start.
Yeah, it's half stealth, half shoot it up, half find out where you're going kind of thing.
Okay. Okay. So to avoid bringing this to some kind of Last of Us review that we haven't played, what else do you have to say about it before we move on?
Storyline 10 out of 10.
Okay. Yeah, you're
The
very.
story is pretty much all I care about. It's probably not the kind of game I would play or, like.
Yeah, I mean it is a big deal though. I mean you told me about this game last night, and I knew about the game. I've heard great things about it, but the fact that you literally told me um, that you would buy a PS3 and everything probably to play this game if you were able to
Yeah.
is a big deal coming from Infidel because he really, he could get any game and he really will never play the single player, and he's told me before he just watches, whatever gameplay on a live stream or YouTube, and that's how he views the storyline, and that's it. So it was a big deal for him to say that.
Yep.
So I don't know if I'll ever watch a video of The Last of Us, to see the story as well, but
I strongly recommend it.
yeah, if you said it, I mean, it's obviously worth it. Okay, so let's move on. You wanted to talk about the Minecraft snapshot?
Yes, the Minecraft snapshot that you have no idea what I'm talking about.
Right.
So, basically, wow, that's...
It's a really small picture.
Yeah.
Let me see if I could do something here. There we go.
Okay. So the Minecraft snapshot. Basically, it's kind of a beta test for the next update for Minecraft. Right. It's Minecraft 1.6 which isn't actually out yet, and they add a bunch of things. It's really fun to play.
Oh,
You
so
can
it's safe to say this is a beta, I guess, or a testing?
yeah, testing. Yes.
Yeah.
It's added a lot of stuff. Anyone that owns Minecraft can get it on PC.
Yeah, this is a PC thing we're talking about first.
Yeah, you can just Google it, Minecraft Snapshot 1.6 or something, and you can download it from there. And it downloads like a test launcher where you can see all the code of the launcher and stuff like that, and crazy things. And you can launch it. There's servers for it. I'm currently playing on one. There's horses, hay bales, all kinds of new stuff.
Now, I have a couple of questions based on the screenshot that we're looking at.
Yes.
What is this 13W22A at the end of the title?
That's the version of the snapshot.
Okay, that's what I figured. Second thing is this little comment box next to the character, with some text in it. Is that any indication that it's like there's like a pop-up bubble when you chat now in the game or something?
No.
Okay. Coming to Xbox 360. What do you think, Infidel? I mean, the update will, but
Yeah, the
we're
update will
talking about the
eventually.
snapshot thing, which is just a system that Infidel wanted to talk about that lets you preview the next updates on the PC.
I actually think he might be talking about the Last of Us. Would in which case, no, it's not. It's a PS3 exclusive.
No, I think he's talking about Minecraft.
Yeah, yeah, it's definitely it'll be on the Xbox whenever the update comes around, but it's not even on PC yet, so don't think it's gonna
I
be
guess we
anytime
give
soon.
a quick shout out to Bapa's daughter. He says she just came over and heard Minecraft and horses and got super excited. Now, on the topic of Minecraft, actually, during E3, during the
Minecraft Xbox One.
Microsoft conference, I forgot the exact title of it, but Minecraft is coming to, is it 360 or Xbox One?
Xbox One.
Xbox
It's already
One.
on 360,
Okay.
so you're stupid.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to remember right now, and I'm trying too hard, so my brain's getting a little
Yes.
fried. But
Yes,
they
it
are
is
making
coming to
Minecraft for
Xbox
Xbox One. It's going to be a bigger world, obviously, more content. So that's the other thing. Hopefully, at least this update with the horses, they continue updating the Xbox 360 version, and then they'll move into Xbox One. Hopefully, they'll keep them on par with each other, unless at some point they update the game so much that Xbox 360 won't be able to support the amount of updates that they would have added to it by then.
I'm actually very curious to see if they will if someone carries over their gamer tag to Xbox One and they have the Xbox 360 edition of Minecraft, if they will automatically get the Xbox One version.
That would be awesome, to be honest, because from what I've seen in the PC version, I mean, there's been so many updates and everything, and it's just a one-time fee. Like they've never charged extra for anything.
Yeah.
So that would be nice.
The current version is 1.5.1.
That's the new version?
I'm wrong. 1.5.4, I believe.
Okay. Yeah, I wish I knew what version the Xbox is on right now, at least, to kind of compare.
Also, the PC version of Minecraft is officially out of its beta stage.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I was thinking about that when I was talking about the snapshot thing and how I asked that it's kind of a beta. I remember that Minecraft has been a beta as far as the game itself.
Every update has had a snapshot.
Yeah.
Because obviously you have to test it before it's released.
Right, which is smart. I mean, a lot more games are doing that nowadays. This is an interesting list I found, actually, which is a list of, obviously what's only been announced on during E3 2013, which was this past week. It's a list of, so far, the Xbox One and PlayStation 4 exclusive games, and then even which games are coming out on both consoles. So I wanted to take a look at this real quick. They did announce a lot of these games. There was a lot of trailers. Crimson Dragon, which I know a lot of people are excited for, but I've never been into that type of game. I think it's a sequel to Crimson Lance or some other game like that with a similar title. Dead Rising 3 was announced.
Hang on, I'm going to point out two things that just immediately stood out to me.
Okay.
On the PlayStation 4 list, there's PlanetSide 2
Yeah.
and War Thunder.
Yeah. I wanted to get into that, but I've actually PlanetSide 2 I've known for a long time because it is a Sony Online Entertainment game, even from the original game, so that was a given.
I just never knew that PlanetSide 2 was going to be on PlayStation 4.
Yep.
I did know, however, that War Thunder was going to be there. Because it was on the recent news list like a couple months ago.
Right. I mean, we were live streaming the E3 conference as well. I was trying to live stream most of the good things that I would have an interest in. Basically, if I was watching it, I was live streaming it from E3. And they also, speaking of the announcements, they had also announced that World of Tanks is going to come to the Xbox. And the Xbox 360, to be exact, by the way. And that's why you don't see it on this list. But once I saw that announcement, first of all, it was very weird that they're sticking with the Xbox 360 for it. Maybe they'll add it later on to Xbox One, but it doesn't seem like it for right now, because it's also going to be one of these extended period beta releases and things like that. But
it's
anyway,
also free to play on Xbox.
Right,
You
it's
gotta
going to be
point that
completely
out.
free, and it actually releases this summer. And once I saw that announcement, I immediately thought to myself in my head. I think I even said it on the stream. I was like, oh well, there goes War Thunder. It's definitely going to be exclusive to PlayStation 4.
Yeah. Um, honestly, I'm not too excited for that. Well, for two reasons. One, that's very obvious, is I don't have an Xbox anymore. But even if I had it, I played World of Tanks on PC a little bit,
Right.
and unless it's definitely a pay to win game, because unless you're going to pay money, you will not have fun.
Yeah, I mean, we've talked about it before, not necessarily on the podcast, but when we're playing War Thunder and all that. War Thunder is, to me personally, it's better to have. War Thunder is eventually. A lot of people don't know this. Is eventually going to have also ground and sea warfare, and
Yes, but so is World of Tanks, pretty much.
Right, but remember, it's going to be separate games.
Different games, yeah.
Apparently, as of right now, I mean, maybe they're just announcing it separately and whatever, they'll merge them or something. But in my opinion, it's better to have one game that has these massive battles with all three types of fleets than
Yeah.
having War Thunder and then what's the one they just announced as well?
World of Warplanes,
World of
which
Warplanes.
they didn't just announce. It's been in closed beta for a couple months now.
Oh, so I didn't even know that. I guess that's how slowly that's being talked about, I guess.
Well, it's not. It hasn't been talked about because they only recently lifted the. Yeah.
Oh, the NDA?
Yeah.
Okay. Understandable. So I wanted to go into, I mean, they talked about Dead Rising, or they announced Dead Rising 3, which actually looks very nice. I've never been into the Dead Rising games, but it's going to be an Xbox One exclusive, which is cool. It looks a lot more realistic, I could say that, less cartoonish. That's kind of why I've never been into the Dead Rising, the two previous games. I might want to try the third one. Forza Motorsport 5, which I'm so excited for. We'll obviously get into that. A new Halo game was announced, only for Xbox One. Killer Instinct, which was a huge joke. What else do we have here? Minecraft.
Star Wars Battlefront.
Minecraft, of course. Star Wars Battlefront. We won't show the trailer for that because it was very weird. It's a 20-second shot of CGI snow. It's like, oh my god, that looks gorgeous. And like,
But
I'm pretty sure that's the last thing you're gonna be looking at when you're playing that game.
That's not going to be what the game looks like.
Yeah, it's not gonna be what it looks like. So I hate talking about CGI stuff when they do gameplay or teaser things, whatever it is, because it's never gonna look like that. What else do we have here? Titanfall, which is probably a game we could talk about. I don't necessarily have any videos ready for that, but that was a pretty.
I don't have any information ready for it.
Yeah.
So
that's gonna be kind of like a Mech Warriors type of game. The one thing that caught my eye about is they did a little on-stage gameplay of it. The graphics-wise, it's obviously not completed. I mean, hopefully it will look a lot better than that because it kind of looks like an original Xbox game right now. But
honestly, I think Titanfall is going to be Call of Duty trying to be Halo.
oh, you think so? I just got the idea of Mech Warrior type of stuff, and then what got my attention is you could also fight on foot, of course. So you have these massive mechs, fighting above you with guns, and they're very agile and stuff. And then you
The
could
idiots
actually
that are on foot are getting killed.
right or stepped on. I mean, it would be good if that could happen actually, but maybe not for balancing purposes. But the one thing that caught my eyes during this gameplay thing, the guy bails out of his mech, lands on an enemy mech, and sabotages his mech, which I thought was, from a gameplay standpoint, a very engaging thing to put in the game like that. I'm actually seeing this right now, which is actually really funny. Apparently, Zoo Tycoon is going to be exclusive to Xbox One.
Awesome. Can't wait.
There's an untitled Black Tusk game, which was actually teased, which was a very weird teaser trailer. They showed that on the Microsoft conference as well. It seemed to be just the precise, very detailed CGI mechanism of some type of electric pistol that works on electricity and fires some type of laser system. So it wasn't really any indication.
It's way too technical for me.
Yeah, some type of FPS game. I don't know. It was a very uninformative teaser thing. Plants vs Zombies Garden Warfare looks awesome. To be honest, it's kind of like it's more of a co-op game. It's gonna be third person. You can still plant your plants around. There's gonna be like boss battles. You play as specific plants that you choose. It's really cool.
And they also used it to troll a crowd by starting with a Battlefield type
Right. Because
intro.
EA's the publisher, of course, and they did like the whole orange flare type of thing. That was really funny.
And the
You know,
dubstep
the
opening.
PlayStation 4 exclusives are pretty much a given. You know, you have the usual Gran Turismo, a lot of Japanese games. Uh,
Racist.
Planet Side 2 again, War Thunder, we talked about that. Another game that
Oh,
was announced, which I actually do not see it here. Oh, it is here in the middle because it's coming out on both platforms, is Metal Gear Solid 5. It was announced during the Microsoft conference, and it looks incredible. I actually haven't heard you say anything about this game. Did you think or anything about it, Infidel, or did you miss like seeing it? Or
I miss seeing it. I was never a fan of the Metal Gear Solid franchise.
right? Yeah, I
Metal
mean,
Gear.
it looks incredible. I haven't played every single game because I feel like maybe the past three that have released are kind of like they were not interesting to me, and some of them were like little side stories. But I would say I've played the main Metal Gear Solid games. They're very very good games. The only thing is it's not for everyone because it's kind of a very slow paced, very tactical game. So a lot of people
Definitely not me.
yeah, a lot of people just get impatient and try to run and gun, and it kind of never works out. Maybe this one will be different because they do have horseback riding. It's an open world. I mean, the trailer is incredible for the game that they showed off at E3 during the Microsoft
Okay.
conference.
And I'd like to point out we are now looking at Battlefield Bad Company 3 World War Z Edition.
Yeah, because we have a massive advertisement that's pretty much the size of the article.
And it comes out in 4 days. They kept the secret pretty good.
Um,
Special
so
guest Brad Pitt.
I wanted to show this article real quick. As much as I am not a fan of IGN and all that, they do have these kind of exclusive interviews once in a while, and it's an interview with Dice, and they've literally said that it's impossible for them to be working on Bad Company 3 right now. That's because they're working on Battlefield 4, of course, Star Wars Battlefront, and a new Mirror's Edge game that was also a surprise to see announced for a lot of people. Um, I, me personally, what I feel about this is I don't care for another Bad Company game.
Yep.
At least for right now, based on the Battlefield 4 gameplay that was shown off at E3, they're doing very good with it. They have the commander mode finally back in there. There's still a lot of things, once again, they've had the Battlefield 4 gameplay of single player and all that. I just hate that they're bothering with that, especially on the Xbox One. Now that I think about it, because it's going to be an always online system, they should have just scrapped all of that. And considering the Xbox 360 version is going to be different
Well,
from Xbox One, they should have
not
made it a bigger game.
Not necessarily always online for people that took that the wrong way.
Well,
It's
24 hours.
Yeah, that. So Battlefield 3 was my first Battlefield that I played online.
Right.
After playing Battlefield 3 for a long time, hey, I like the Battlefield franchise. Let's go try Bad Company 2. I hated it.
Yeah.
I hated it so much.
Yeah.
I don't know
feel
what
like,
it was.
What was that?
I said I don't know what it was. I just hated it.
Yeah, I feel like the original Bad Company, was something different. A lot of people thought it was a sequel to whatever previous Battlefield game was before, but no, they apparently tried to do this separate like series or franchise of Battlefield, and
Like with Call of Duty, there's Infinity Ward and Treyarch.
yeah, that's pretty much what it's probably going to turn into. Hopefully not. I mean, I'm very happy to see that they're not working on Bad Company 3 for now, at least.
Yeah, so they can focus on Battlefield 4.
But yeah, again, I feel like the original Bad Company was cool. I mean, it was fun. It was more engaging and all that for people that care for it. The multiplayer was pretty weak, and I think they did the opposite with Bad Company 2, and that's why it kind of like wasn't as successful because a lot of people were expecting that single player again, and it wasn't as good. But then the multiplayer was a lot better. So I mean, again, I just think it's very dumb of them to continue with the whole single player in the Battlefield franchise. They need to get rid of it.
Yeah. Well, they need the single player to base multiplayer on.
Yeah.
You don't realize how much of the single player aspects like move into multiplayer. Multiplayer has always been based around the campaign in terms of maps, weapons, the theme of everything that's going on. So I still think it's required to have it there, but no one's ever going to play it.
Yeah. I wanted to point out you responded to Base and said you guess so, but he said, "Wait, so if I don't get online in 24 hours on my Xbox One, my console's gonna die." Hopefully that's not the case. Surprisingly enough, all these articles, even this Xbox engineer that did this whole anonymous, honesty thing, no one has stated what happens, because they make it sound very strict about the whole 24-hour required connection thing. So like, what happens if someone does go on vacation? Yeah, things like that. I mean, how does it really work? But they haven't explained that at all.
I think it's just you need to, if you don't go online for 24 hours and you try and play a game, it's going to say, hey, you need to log on to Xbox Live to do this.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say what I just thought about. You were so close. You know what I think what will happen? Considering you won't need a disc every time you play. I mean, assuming it'll require you to install the game when you first put it in.
Yep.
Otherwise, this kind of doesn't apply. But if it does that, then if you don't log in within 24 hours or whatever, it will require you to insert the disc.
Oh.
It's something I just thought about. Because again, with the whole security checkpoint,
just
that's
to
what it
prove
is.
that you own it.
Right. Because it is a security checkpoint. So think about it. If you haven't logged in 24 hours, it's going to say, hey, you can't play this game because it's been whatever since your last play session. Please insert the disc. And there you go.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
So we're deep into the podcast now. We need to start talking about Battlefield before we are here all day.
Well, I didn't tell you before we started because it kept slipping my mind. But if anything, we can make this a two-part thing. I mean, there's no problem with that either. We'll just
all right, two-part thing.
Two-part thing. All right. So
Battlefield,
next,
back to Battlefield podcast episode 16.1 now starting.
Next, we're gonna go into lovely Forza Motorsport 5, which was one of the highlight games of the Microsoft conference because this has been an exclusive game for Xbox for a long time now.
We're on one of those subjects where I can just leave and he'll never.
No, I want you to stay here because I'm gonna talk about you as well during us watching this conference and your reactions about it because it was very surprising to see considering you are not into racing games. We saw the teaser trailer of Forza 5 in the last episode and all that. We've been looking at it. Everyone was anxious for what they would show in E3 because they were promising they would show something, and they showed a lot. As far as information goes, one of the biggest things is that they will be adding Formula 1 cars now to Forza Motorsport 5, which is a huge deal because it's already an amazing simulation racing game with excellent physics and excellent damage models, and to add Formula 1 is just going to be insane. Another thing is that they're changing Auto Vista. It's going to be Forza Vista. And for those of us that have played Forza Motorsport 4, that's something that was restricted to a set of cars. It was kind of like a little showcase gallery that was very limited. They even had the exclusive Halo Warthog that you could like analyze in the game.
That's awesome.
But
Drivatar.
Yeah, now in this game, we'll get into Drivatar. Fat Mofo's going crazy in the live stream chat. In Forza 5, it's going to be Forza Vista, and every single car in the game, you're going to be able to zoom in, sit in it, in a little gallery type of thing, zoom into every single detail, open the hood, open the trunk, all of that for every single car in the game. So that's pretty incredible.
Yes, but as we all know, Alec is rich enough to buy this car for himself, so he can just do it in real life.
Yeah, totally. I'm going to go buy him with Darren right now. I wish. No, living in Miami, I even if I would afford it, I wouldn't buy a car like that. Because
he wouldn't do it because last time he had a nice car, he crashed and sprained his wrist.
Not only that, but you park anywhere in the world, and some people hate the fact that you're driving that car, or they think you're a douchebag, and they'll scratch your car on purpose, or you'll be in a parking lot, especially here in Miami, and some old lady will come out and not even notice somehow that there's a car next to her, and she'll literally try to merge her door with your door. In the parking lot. So
you own guns. You can settle that.
A couple of other things is that the what they mainly wanted to show in the gameplay review or whatever during the conference also is the new graphics models. They didn't do the traditional trailer yet that shows off the whole damage and the physics and all that and the cars flipping and things like that. They instead wanted to show how this time, just like a real car, they have 3 layers of paint, which is what in simple terms, you kind of have the primer, then you have the paint color, and then you have the clear coat. And while you're racing, and if you zoom into your cars, I'm not sure if there's going to be like some type of repair cost for cars now or something like that, but they say you'll be able to see every single imperfection about how something hit your car and what it did to it on the paint job. So that's
I'd like
pretty
to
insane.
see. I'd like to see the guy that never repairs his car and eventually he's just driving around in like a completely scratched up, kind of like apocalyptic style thing
Just
where he's
like
got
missing
like
all the bumpers.
yeah, he's got plastic and duct tape windows.
Kind of like how you see in real life sometimes, like garbage bags, with
Yeah,
like all kinds of ropes and bungee cords holding the bumper on.
and like donut spare tires.
But yeah, I mean, the final thing is the biggest thing they showed off so far, which is the Drivatar cloud integration. Which, long story short, what this does is, since the Xbox One is going to be connected to the cloud so much, and a lot of games are going to be able to be
I
based.
got this. You're dragging it out. I got this.
You got
Basically,
it.
your Xbox spies on you while you're playing, and then
No.
when and then when you log off, your Drivatar, which copies all your movements, decides, hey, I'm gonna go race against this other guy
Right.
who's actually playing. So I'm gonna use everything I got from spying on you and try and beat him.
Right. That's Infidel's definition. Basically, people will be able to race against you when you're not online actually playing the game, and then when you log in next time, you'll receive all those credits, your trophies, whatever else you'll get for those races. This also works in both single player and multiplayer races. So, I guess if you want that extra challenge, you'll be able to race in single player and just load in your friends' drivatars. Now we're seeing here in the visual part of the podcast, I guess. This is a video I found on Game Traders, which is a Formula One car in the gallery of
Sun
Forza
drop.
Motorsport 5, which looks amazing once again. So that was pretty exciting to see. It's like a little teaser clip. What else do we got here? We
Yes,
have,
but anything can look amazing when it's a set piece.
well, that's how it works in Forza, though. You know
Okay.
what that is there that we just saw is probably Forza Vista. It's something like that. You know, it loads a single car in that environment and you just walk around it and stuff. So that it will look like that in that case. We also have some gameplay footage that we're showing right now. This is someone, I guess, racing during the E3 show floor, and they were messing around with the whole rewind feature, which is something I don't like to use. So I turn that off when I'm playing Forza. I don't
Hey,
like
look, a
being able.
shiny mirror.
Yeah, I don't like being able to rewind the race in a racing game. Like, I think that's kind of like cheap, even if it's single player. Like, if I mess up, I want to restart from the beginning, and I don't mind that. Like, even if it takes me 50 tries.
Yeah.
I don't wear a tinfoil hat, but I wouldn't put it past Microsoft to let the NSA view our living rooms through the Kinect. Yeah, we could go into that, but long story
I
short.
think it's actually going to be the NRA doing that.
Oh, yeah, NRA, NSA. No, NRA is National Rifles. I just got that. That was really bad. Jesus, Ipino. Oh, I was like, wait. Um, Speaking of the Kinect, I mean, while we watch this Forza 5 trailer, that whole Kinect thing also is another thing that people aren't understanding. There's a whole privacy article published by Microsoft directly. In the conference they showed off, yes, all the voice commands that you could give the Kinect and how you could pretty much be speaking in a conversation and the Kinect will think that you're talking to it and respond. But one of the biggest things, at least for me, was that nowadays you have the regular, the original Kinect on the 360, and you can't turn on your Xbox with it. And in the new one, you could say Xbox on, and it turns on. So a lot of people think you're losing that privacy, but you could turn that off. That's all.
Okay, yeah, because everyone was thinking if they're sitting in the living room talking to their friend, it's like, hey, what do you think? Should we turn the Xbox on?
Yeah,
And then
exactly.
and then it's like, ding, Xbox on.
You requested your Xbox to be turned on. It is now powering on.
No, I didn't get the sledgehammer. It's alive.
But I mean, they've considered all that. There's privacy for every single command of the Kinect. You could even turn on if you want to speak to it like that in a normal conversational way, or you could, put it back to the traditional. You have to say Xbox before you say something, which is something I would prefer, to be honest, because like you just gave an example. I don't want to be speaking to someone about some game or whatever, and then it's like turning on all kinds of apps and all that on the TV.
Yeah.
Xbox go home. Yeah, that was the funny part in the conference. You could tell it to
Xbox
go.
go home and it sprouts legs and gets up and leaves.
I'm pretty sure we could all visualize that pretty well.
You're going down the street. There's a bunch of Xboxes walking down the road, going back to like the Microsoft
The Microsoft
factory.
Headquarters or whatever.
Yeah.
What is it? In Seattle or California? I don't even remember.
I don't know. I don't know. But the spokesperson that was at the Xbox conference walks outside his office. What are all these Xboxes doing here?
They're like Xbox returned from whatever owner or whatever. Oh.
The new way to return your electronics is to say, for example, GoPro return, and it goes back to Best Buy, and it brings back
It
your
returns
money.
itself.
And
That
then
would be
leaves.
pretty awesome, actually.
Yeah.
Instead of standing like in the line and everything, like an idiot.
Return. No, it goes back, gets your money, it hands it to you, and then it goes back.
All right, so we have the Destiny gameplay reveal playing right now, which is unfortunately from PlayStation 4.
Hey, look, an
But,
Osprey.
An Osprey.
A future Osprey.
Did you see this game during the actual conference, or did you catch up on it after, or what do you think about
No,
it?
I didn't care at all. It's not my kind of thing.
Really?
I know there are very loud advertisements in front of every YouTube video I play.
Now, the first thing I said when I was watching this gameplay, which was also an on stage, this was during the Sony conference or whatever. The first thing I immediately thought once I started seeing the combat and everything is this is Borderlands. With
Wait, I'm gonna point out something right here. Well, at least we know they definitely upgraded the EOTech site. I'm sure that's changed in the hundreds of years that it's probably been.
right. I mean, you're being sarcastic, right? Because it looks the same to me.
Yeah, it's exactly the same.
Except it kind of has like a blue tinted glass, I guess, is the futuristic.
Yeah.
You know.
Hey, let's take this exact same thing and just put a little hologram thing in the middle.
Yeah, for the next 20 years, we'll be trying to figure out how to color the glass in it and not affect your vision.
Yeah.
But this is, first of all, the game looks incredible. It's safe to say that Xbox One and PlayStation 4 graphics are going to be pretty much identical because they kind of have little trade-offs. PlayStation 4 has less RAM, but at the same time, I think it will have a better processor or something compared to the Xbox One. So whatever, vice versa. Anyway, this is just Borderlands with realistic graphics, I would say.
Okay, this has been Destiny. Moving on.
Yeah, if we skip through the gameplay, we get a little combat scene. People could jump in and jump out. In public events is what they call it. So let me see if I can find it here.
The Fallen.
They're fighting this huge mech type of thing, like crawling, whatever. They're shooting out the legs. Again,
Hey, look, it's Titanfall.
Again, it's very similar to Borderlands. They do have classes, as you can see. There's some characters are using some type of magic attacks, and then the enemy dies right here, and you'll see all these glowing orbs, which I guess are glitched out because they're floating in the air. But that's your loot. So there's a loot system and everything. Again, it's like Borderlands.
Yeah, but it's not as funny.
I'll be getting the game. That's all I want to say. I think it looks awesome.
Okay, moving on.
So like you said, moving on. There's another video here, but I'll skip through that. We got The Division, which is I don't think you're interested in this game either, are you, Infidel?
Halfway.
Because you have
I'm never gonna buy it, but it looks cool.
Because you have such a diverse library of games anyway.
Yeah.
It's funny because a lot of people, now that I think about it, a lot of people think I'm the one that just plays FPS games and things like that, like just Battlefield, and I'm like, no way. But then they obviously don't know you.
Yeah.
So just a little background. This game, The Division, was pretty much announced by Ubisoft during E3. This is a debut gameplay, as you can see.
Hey, look, it's New
Uh,
York.
this
Christmas
is
music.
this is in game right from the bat. This game's gonna be an MMO. Um, I would say more of an FPS. They say it's an RPG, but it doesn't have a class system. It's not restricted. It's very open. Basically, the skills you pick are what's going to define your character, so you don't have to worry about leveling up and character limits and nonsense like that you otherwise would in an RPG. And again, this game looks incredible.
I like the type of apocalypse they're going for, where everyone's not trying to kill each other. Like you'll walk down the street and pass people,
Right.
like it's kind of normal.
Again, it's
Where
an open
just
world, so literally, you'll see here, this character is looking around, but he's communicating with his teammate who's in this corner pharmacy checking it around. See, and he just comes out to the front there, and they're communicating the whole time. Oh, there's nothing in there, no loot, anything, and they're gonna move on. Because this is an open world, yeah, I love this map feature, this whole tactical map that pops up like right beneath your character. I think that's awesome.
yeah,
Um, because this is an open world, you will encounter, like Infidel just said, you'll encounter people whenever you do. I mean, it's not something scripted, and they're going to be players. There will also be NPC encounters.
yeah. Like I said, it's not a crazy apocalypse where everyone kills each other immediately. Like you'll walk down the street like it's normal that people are looting and running around with guns.
Yeah, which speaking of that, the story behind this game is it's based in New York, is what they've shown so far. So as of right now, I guess that's the only city you're going to be playing in. Obviously, it's going to include all the districts of New York. And they have an awesome trailer talking about the game, and it gives you all the story and stuff. And it's based, what's this game you're just talking about, The Last of Us? It's based
Yeah.
on actual science and things that are going on nowadays, and what it's gonna turn into. How we're so reliant on like internet and things like that.
Yeah.
So basically, that all collapses, and this is what happens. People are infected or struggling to survive and killing each other. So that's where you're put into, and you have to survive.
Yeah.
But it's an awesome game. I mean, I've seen this gameplay trailer so many times I could just watch it over and over again.
With
One of
that
the
terrible
awesome.
voice acting.
Well, was it you that said? No, that was Gamer Maniac, because he's the one that even showed me this game, because I was.
Yeah, but I was there.
Yeah, and he's like, oh, in the beginning I thought it was like some NPC talking, but it was the actual people. It's not terrible voice acting necessarily, but they're pretending too hard to be like all tactical and stuff.
Yeah, and really calm.
They're like, hey Bobby, did you check that pharmacy over there? He's like, yeah, it doesn't turn up any.
Yeah, and then they're in the firefight, which is showing right now, and they're like, yeah, so the guy over
Oh,
there.
right. They're like super calm.
Yeah, it's like, dude,
Yeah, I was
that
talking
was
to
a
you on
bullet.
TeamSpeak when we were watching this, and I'm like, okay, I would not. Like, if anyone knows how I play and stuff, I would be yelling up a storm right now. I'd be like,
Toss me
dude,
some
there's a guy over
ammo.
there, cussing all over the place, but these guys are like
Dude,
all calm.
I'm almost out of ammo. Can you throw me some? Thanks.
Yeah. Hey, there's a guy shooting me right now. I have like 2 health left. Want to heal me? By the time you finish saying that, you're like overkilled already.
Yeah.
But the game looks awesome. One of my favorite things from this trailer is obviously the destruction is incredible. Every single bullet hole is being registered, and it reacts to whatever it hits. This rolling grenade, which actually just showed up. This guy, it's a grenade in the game, and it just rolls around instead of the traditional throwing it or whatever. So I thought that was awesome. And,
Battlefield 4.
yeah, next we will go into awesome Battlefield 4 stuff.
And after about like 2 months, we still haven't finished our Battlefield 4 wish list.
Yeah, well, I was gonna get into that, but you could cover your part of Battlefield 4 right now, if you want.
Oh God.
You go into it first, and then I'll talk about it.
Can't wait.
'Cause
Alec,
I want to
follow
hear
up
what
to
you noticed, is what I'm saying, because you're the resident military expert. So,
Oh God, I don't know where to start.
by the
You'd
way,
have
we're
to.
gonna be watching the multiplayer demo, which is from the
Yeah.
conference. So, yeah.
You're gonna have to call me out on something because I can't. I don't even know where to start.
Okay. Well, first of all, we could talk about the optics, even though we covered that in the single player thing that they showed.
Well, the optics. It looks like it's all about the same. And the only thing that's really changed is they added a couple new kind of scopes and sights. The only thing that's really majorly changed about optics is the fact that you can have the alternate variable zoom type thing, where you're seeing right now to the right there's a fold-up scope that will increase the zoom on your aim point.
Right, it's just a magnifier, because I know a lot of people might think it's like another scope, and like you put that one in and you take off the red dot. It's not something like that. What that does is it magnifies, so it'll give you a little bit extra zoom, because we kind of saw the gameplay of it in the actual multiplayer stuff. It's not going to turn it into a sniper rifle or anything like that, but it'll give you that extra zoom
go from like
for mid-range combat.
It'll go from like a 1 times or 2 times to probably like a 4 times.
Yeah.
I think they should have put a little bit more work into making it look better, because having it so far over there, just kind of hanging there off your gun, looks a little stupid.
Yeah.
In real life, it's very close, where it'll just be like right off the side of your existing sight.
Right. That's something. I mean, I don't know if they'll change that, but you're absolutely right. Because I've seen one of those magnifiers be mounted like that and stuff, and it doesn't go that far out. The only thing I could think of is maybe it's like a field of vision thing. Like they wanted to leave that space in between the two scopes so you could kind of see that area more or something like that.
Yeah.
I guess.
Still looks a little stupid.
Yeah.
So right now we are seeing down the road. Yeah, we're seeing down the road that an armored vehicle just showed up, which is the Russian, or not Russian, the Chinese armored vehicle, because that's the enemy. But the Americans have something that was actually on my Battlefield wish list. Just went over the bridge. It's some version of an MRAP. An MRAP is a armored mine-resistant vehicle, which America is currently using in Afghanistan to counter IEDs.
Right.
Or
which quick footnote. Sorry for interrupting, but during the live stream, they confirmed that vehicle will actually replace the Humvee in Battlefield 4. So there will be no Humvee. It's going to be
which makes
MRAP.
sense. Yeah. Because we do not use Humvees anymore.
Right.
Basically, the MRAP is a lot stronger. It's got more armor. I'm not sure what variant it is in this game, honestly. It's hard to tell, because they're all armored vehicles that are
right. They have the different little things, basically, that distinguish them. As we've seen in Arma. I mean, you showed me.
Yeah. So, next up is this guy is in an elevator, which is awesome. So,
a couple of informational things while we're listening to the elevator music here that I want to point out. So far, it's only two factions, in Battlefield 4, which are Chinese and U.S. A lot of people are thinking that there's going to be 3 for some reason, because they expected the Russian faction to still be in here. I hope they don't eliminate every single gun that was in Battlefield 3 just because of that. The whole Chinese-U.S. thing instead.
Which makes no sense, because what would they eliminate?
Yeah,
I mean, the Chinese use Russian weapons anyway.
Oh, okay. That's good then. See, I wouldn't know that, to be honest. I don't know, like, the weapon list, even of Battlefield 3 by memory. I could probably only name, like, 10 guns.
Chinese use, like, AK-47 variants and things like that.
Yeah. Another thing I wanted to point out is, as you can see here in the gameplay video, that's actually the commander on a tablet, because commanders will actually count separately from the player count on servers. And that will allow them to connect virtually from anywhere and be the commander on a server and call in a Tomahawk,
cruise missile,
UAV. The other thing, again, you'd have to be watching the visual version of the podcast. The squad perks are different. You'll see on the top of the squad list on the bottom left, which is now composed of 5 players. Basically, as you perform more squad support actions, squad assists, as you can see here on the screen, you will unlock the perks. And that's how that's going to work. So you don't have to worry anymore about who has what perk equipped and overlapping perks and things like that. And now we will see the awesome part of the multiplayer demo, which is the Levolution features of Battlefield 4, which we see this building collapsing.
This gigantic tower.
Yeah, completely, might I add. This is something
that has a flag on it.
Yeah, this is something I've never seen in any other game, to be honest. Not just because I'm a huge Battlefield fan, but this is incredible. And
So,
on top of that, the building collapses, the flag relocates, and you
yep.
can still enter that area. It's not blocked off or anything, and you just continue fighting on it.
Yay, Evolution. I guarantee that we will see some kind of aspect of a collapsible dam that releases water.
Yeah, that's the thing. A lot of questions. It brings up a lot of questions. For example, that specific level that they show in the multiplayer is is a game mode called Siege of I forgot the name now.
That's actually the
Siege
map
of
name.
Shanghai. Oh, it's the map name.
Yeah.
I always thought it was part of the game mode.
No, it's just Conquest.
Okay, so it's
It's
Conquest.
Conquest on Siege of Shanghai.
Okay, that's good to hear then. Other things I just remembered. I mean, I guess I could mention it. I don't really have a screenshot or anything, but during the live stream demo, there was a couple of points where they actually showed someone in the AC-130, and it did seem to show three gunner seats. I mentioned this to you, Infidel. I don't know if it's because again, the show floor gameplay that they were allowing people to play or whatever is actually pre-alpha. So it could be just, some type of indicator thing that they haven't sorted out. But the AC-130 showed a driver seat and three gunner seats. So that's
Cool.
something that hopefully they clarify, or if not, it won't be in the game or whatever. But I thought that was pretty awesome.
Okay, so next I want to talk about the ammunition and reloading features.
Right.
Where if you reload with certain weapons, such as assault rifles, carbines, sniper rifles, and LMGs, you will lose the ammunition you have in your mag when you reload. It will drop on the ground in the mag, like real life, basically. But I believe I noticed that pistols do not do that.
But the other thing is, that was a huge topic during the live stream because a lot of people were asking about it, and it seems to be, this is actually unconfirmed, really, as far as I know. But it seems to be that that's just a feature that they have in the gameplay of E3, because that's only going to be a feature in hardcore mode as far as the whole mag count and how that works. And apparently in
Oh yeah.
standard mode, it'll still be ammo based, not magazine based. So that's a huge thing that they need to clarify.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but I prefer the magazine thing, to be honest, because it's more realistic. I mean,
I don't, because everyone knows how hard it is to get ammo from a support guy.
yeah,
So
that
it'll be a lot more difficult to get ammo.
yeah, as contradictory as that would be, I would prefer it because it gets more use out of a support guy in your squad and stuff.
Yeah, well, we're not getting enough use out of current support guys in Battlefield 3.
I just picture the whole Battlefield Friends thing. The support guy
Yeah.
in that, he's like completely useless.
Most people, like, I play a lot of Metro in Battlefield 3.
Yeah,
Most people have to get ammo, they have to block a support guy into a wall, into a corner, to get him to give ammo.
it's like, give me ammo or I'll kill you.
Yeah. There needs to be, you know what Battlefield 4 needs? It needs proximity voice chat, where someone within a certain area, say 20 meters, can hear you talking in direct voice chat.
Well, that's actually actually I want to get back to that because I want to still give a little bit more of what we've seen of Battlefield 4. There's going to be three different grenades now, which are frag, flashbang, and incendiary. Those are kind of like self-explanatory. The other big thing is, again, this is all based on the pre-alpha gameplay that people were able to play on the show floor, and obviously there's a bunch of videos and screenshots of all that. There's going to be two different types of ammo and health packs. You have the traditional box size, which is a box of medic supplies, I guess, and a box of ammo, and then you have smaller packs which you could throw on the floor.
Or you
throw
can
them,
stick to people.
yeah, you throw them a lot further, or you could stick them on people, and at that point they could literally just keep moving, and it'll heal them or refill their ammo a lot slower, obviously, for balance purposes, and it's not such a big box or whatever. But that's something they added to the game.
So you as a medic, and your friend as a support guy could stick ammo and meds to each other and just run around next to. I'm very curious to see if it will only give the person that has it stuck to them ammo, or if it will go to the neighboring person.
I think if it's stuck on a person, it's just for that person at that point.
I see.
But if not, you could throw them on the floor, like I said. Again, because they're smaller, they also, for balance purposes, they also run out a lot quicker. So you might throw it on the floor, and if you have three people waiting, literally each person or just one person will probably get 3 or 4 bullets out of it only.
I think that the ammo and med box are unlimited, but the packs that you stick to people are not.
Yeah, I mean, I just know for a fact that they do disappear a lot quicker, and obviously that could be related to the limitation itself. A couple of other things. There's going to be a green laser, which for right now, even the in-game description is identical to the red laser attachment, so there's no real difference between that.
There is a difference. Is the green laser is much harder to see if you're standing in front of the gun.
If you're as an enemy, I guess.
Yeah, as an enemy.
Okay.
Like how the red laser blinds people. If you don't want that effect, or you want it like less of an effect, you can use the green laser, and it will be much harder to see.
Right.
And I'm sure it will like reduce the effect of like hipfire accuracy a little bit, because everyone would just use the green laser and not even touch the red one.
Right. I definitely want them to have some sort of difference, because I know in real life, as far as I know, is that the green laser does exist. With the blind eye, a green laser is actually a lot brighter than a red laser to begin with. And I know that because of that, on the light spectrum and all that, if you want to get like scientific, if you're using night vision, you'll see the green laser a lot easier than a red laser.
Yeah.
In that respect.
In airsoft, it's required to have an alternate color laser than red, because you can blind people with red lasers.
Right. Yeah. It goes into a lot of technical things like that, and I hope maybe I'll be happy if they do some type of night vision level finally, because they've already revealed that the second expansion pack for Battlefield 4 will actually be 4 maps from Battlefield 2. And they had an expansion pack in Battlefield 2, which was a bunch of night maps, like strictly night maps, great night vision, I guess visuals, and they had grapple hooks and things like that. I don't think they'll go that crazy, but if they introduce night vision, there's one purpose for the green laser right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or maybe even throw in an IR laser attachment.
Right.
For stupid people, that means infrared.
Yeah, continuing with features, we have Base from Hell, who just reminded me, there's so far, based on pre-alpha again, there's a bunch of camos for weapons, tanks, and your soldiers. There's a good about 10 of them, 10 different camos right now, at least in pre-alpha. Again, we have the whole battle packs situation. There's going to be a system called battle packs, bronze, silver, gold, probably platinum. There's different levels. You could level them up, and then you'll unlock XP, attachments, camos through those battle packs. There hasn't been much detail about them, but they'll be in there. And
right now we're looking at leaked screenshots from the alpha, pre-alpha.
These are leaked screenshots from the closed alpha that's going on right now on PC, which actually started only about a week before E3 started up. This is someone that literally immediately took a bunch of screenshots, loading screens, commander screens. Graphics wise, it looks very basic. There's a lot of unfinished parts of the alpha, but that's why it's an alpha. Once again, a lot of similar equipment. For the C4, the tanks are identical right now because they haven't worked with that in the alpha. Again, we have a screenshot here of a bronze battle pack, which states that it contains 3 items, a minimum of 2 standard items and 1 bonus item. So I guess at that point you open it or something and you'll receive the items. I don't know. I'm still very unclear about how all that will work.
Yep.
We have the new customization screen, which I love. It's always shown your soldier, but when you're customizing the weapon, it'll actually zoom up to the weapon this time, and you'll see a lot closer what your attachments will look like on the weapon.
For those people that are picky and want to look cool.
Right. I think I'm picky like that, I guess.
What's
is what you're trying
interesting
to
here?
say.
Yeah, what's interesting here is the character that's shown here has a different weapon than what is selected.
Oh, right. I see that.
Actually, it doesn't. The weapon it's actually the wrong picture on the weapon selection. On the weapon selection, it's a PDW, but the name of the gun on the weapon selection is actually the name of the one he's holding.
Right, so it's a visual, I guess, thing. The whole picture of the gun is what's wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah, with this customization screen, a lot of details were revealed. We could see that little wrench type of icon, the gear next to the pistols, because pistols will now be customizable as well.
Yeah.
No more will you be restricted to a flashlight version of a pistol and then a suppressor version of the same pistol and things like that, like in Battlefield 3.
Like how we freaked out with the S-Tac.
Yeah. um,
Oh my god, 2 attachments on a pistol? That's amazing.
yeah, finally. They did it like right at the end there. They're like, yeah, we'll give you guys the pistols, even though we've been killing you with them for ages already.
Yeah, I'll be waiting for the Magnum with the laser sight.
Oh, the final thing from the customization, which a lot of people also immediately noticed, and there's actually been some confirmed different knives, is that you will be able to change your knife on your own choice, I guess. So there will be the traditional combat knife. There's going to be a shank, which you can use.
Shank.
I want to say one of the other ones I read was either a machete or a survival knife, which I guess would obviously just be a different style to the combat knife. But
Could you imagine if there was a jungle map where that actually mattered, where to make a certain path you had to have a machete?
That gets too technical. I don't think they would be able to do that right now or care to be honest.
I don't know. They haven't done anything pretty much that we've said on here, so you don't have to worry.
Yeah. Now we're looking at this other customization screen about the primary weapon specifically, and they added a whole stat system, I guess you could call it, for the weapons. So you'll see on the right-hand side here, it's a lot easier to see your progression for the weapons. Again, it's all on one screen. Your fire modes, rate of fire, magazine size, damage, accuracy, mobility, all those things, and they will update real time as you switch out attachments on the weapons.
And once again, it's the wrong picture for the gun.
Yeah, I already noticed that. Here we have a nice screenshot of some destruction, what looks to be a knife to the glass, and you have all the shards of glass. Again, this is alpha. I think that's a little excessive for a knife stab on the glass, but hey, it's Battlefield.
Oh no, I'm gonna go get a K-bar and stab a window.
Then again, a knife could chop down a chain link fence, which is awesome in Battlefield, so only in Battlefield
Yeah.
is the motto. Let's see what else we can find on these screenshots. Again, there's going to be vehicle customization. We got some screenshots of the MRAPs and the Abrams. Oh, another thing I noticed through these leaked screenshots. Yes, I know it's alpha. I keep telling myself that. But the AA gun is identical to Battlefield 3. I hope they change that somehow.
Why do you hope they change that? Because it's not like they have another type of AA gun.
Well, I guess the proper question would be, is that what the AA gun looks like nowadays?
They don't have AA guns like that on trailers. That's purely a made-up thing.
How about,
but that AA gun right there is called the CRAM, which is usually on destroyers or aircraft carriers to destroy incoming missiles.
Right, which in that case, that is what they use nowadays in the military, at least for the U.S., or no?
For the U.S., yes.
Okay.
And I believe a few other NATO countries.
Okay, here we have the server browser, which I guess is, the usual that you would find in Battlefield 3 at the moment. I don't think they'll change this much, so that's probably what it's going to look like in the end, which is a browse tab, history tab, favorites, and your search. Another thing I noticed during the Battlefield 4 live stream, and you could see in these screenshots, is the battle log integration, especially for PC. I don't know if they'll do that on the consoles. Is going to be directly in game. Finally, I don't know why they didn't do that with Battlefield 3, but while you're playing the game, if you're in a pause menu or something, it'll tell you to press the return or enter key, and it'll open up your full battle log. You can switch servers right in the game, and you don't have to alt tab anymore. So that was pretty awesome.
Getting tired. We gotta start wrapping up.
falling asleep.
Yeah. Too much information.
Yeah. This is another new gun. There's been very little new things revealed as far as weapons, but there is a Scout Elite rifle, which a lot of people are using in the Battlefield 3
And that guy has no arms.
or Battlefield 4. Yeah, I just noticed. Oh man, that's awesome. And the gun is literally on the floor. It's like, oh man, I just got my arms blown off.
Yeah. No. I had 2 tours in Afghanistan, and now I'm fighting this war against the Chinese, and I gotta shoot with my nose and my feet.
That's a awesome screenshot. Here's actually, I forgot about this screenshot. I knew it was in here somewhere. The MRAP up close. Maybe now you could tell, like, was this able to help you distinguish what type of style?
Hang on, but move on. I'll find out. I'll
We're
just
gonna have to go
Google
play
it since
Arma
I
real
don't
quick
know.
and see.
Yeah, I'll just Google it since I don't know.
And here we have another fine gentleman with no arms, who is
Yay.
the support guy. Once again, he dropped his gun on the floor. Maybe someone will help him pick that up. And yeah, that's about it. I mean, Battlefield 4 looks awesome. On the E3 show floor, of course, these are the closed alpha screenshots, but the E3 version, you know, they polished it up a lot so that people wouldn't be like, oh my god, this looks like some type of futuristic Minecraft or something. So, I mean, you could definitely look for that on the All Random Gaming live stream. I also have the live stream of the Battlefield 4 gameplay, and you guys could check that all out. Have you found the information on the MRAP, Infidel?
I believe it is the Cougar H.
Okay, so we'll be driving around a Cougar? I like it.
Yeah.
Please tell me you got that joke.
No, I don't. Probably something that I'm not.
Okay, we'll leave it at that. So
Okay.
Oh wow, this is a pretty long podcast. So yeah, that's about it. I mean, we covered everything we wanted to. War Thunder got updated. What was it, last week or this week?
Oh yeah, we never talked about War Thunder.
Yeah.
we missed a major part.
No, I got it. 1.31 update came out. It has a bunch of new planes, squadrons.
No, we gotta.
That's it. It's a wrap.
Hey, no, I want to continue. I want to show my video.
Your video? Oh, I forgot to pull it up. Shoot. Let's see
Okay,
here.
so there's War Thunder in the stuff. I'm spending time until he looks up my YouTube channel.
Which video am I supposed to pull up?
I don't know any.
Any? Fighting for the motherland?
Game one. Yeah, I'll do it.
Okay, game 1. Alright. Start talking.
Okay, so War Thunder patch 1.31 released on the 11th of June 2013. No, not last year, this year for you people that live in the Amazon. Yeah,
Another
because
planet apparently.
they're
I'm still in 2010.
Yeah, so the new patch added a bunch of new aircraft, such as the Russian MiG-3, which is being shown right now. Bunch of new damaged models. There were supposed to be new economic models, but those have not been released yet.
Yeah.
There will also be pilot cockpit views for bombers, because those don't exist yet. They've added some cool new features. They've upgraded the graphics a bit, a couple new maps, all kinds of stuff like that. And I'm really close to buying my first really awesome airplane. So yeah, that. Subscribe to my YouTube channel.
What's the biggest thing of this patch? Because I kind of forgot. It would be the new planes, right? Like all the new planes?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, wait, no. The biggest thing is the new damage models, and the actual planes themselves are so much more detailed.
I would disagree. I would think the biggest thing is the new planes.
Oh, well, you apparently, I mean, I remember telling you, I was like, man, the first 5 games that I played, I was staring at my plane. I wasn't even shooting people, and you said that you didn't really notice any difference.
Yeah, I didn't really notice at all, except you play on your little custom graphics stuff. I play on just high.
Yeah, I do have my settings on custom. I would say they're probably a mix of what you should be using for the movies instead of gameplay, but it looks incredible.
Yeah.
It was a massive update. Now
It's really fun.
the actual. It's incredible. This is why I love War Thunder so much ever since I started playing it, which you probably hate hearing. Um, is that the amount of detail they put into this game, not only for the airplanes now, but they redid the whole damage model and they factored in, what type of ammunition you're using, what you're shooting at, what part of the plane you're shooting at, and based on that, it'll literally produce a trajectory that will impact the plane that you're shooting at, and from there it'll designate how deep it'll go into the plane, what it will affect, what it'll hit, and
Yeah.
it's incredible that they went into all those details.
Subscribe to my YouTube channel.
What can I say to bring you back is the question that Baba has for us. I think there's no better time than now that they updated the damage models and the game looks even better. They also worked on the maps. They fixed issues with the clouds. The clouds look more realistic.
Yeah.
I think now's the best time. They added a lot more planes that a lot of people were expecting to be in the game probably since the beginning.
Which people that are really have only been playing for a week don't really care about, because all the planes that were existing are still new to them. But for people like me that are used to having all those planes already existing and owning half of them, having new planes is pretty cool.
Yeah, once again, I want to mention, because even Base is kind of questioning it. War Thunder as a game, in the end, is going to comprise itself of airplane warfare, ground warfare with tanks, and sea warfare with ships. So a lot of people don't even know that, and they say, oh, I don't have a reason to play War Thunder if, I don't like planes or whatever. I mean, I guess for now, yeah, you could not play it, but they're also working very quickly on the ground stuff. Quickly, but as effectively as the airplane fleet goes, and they have a completely separate team working on that, so that should be coming out soon, hopefully.
Yep.
But it's an incredible game, honestly.
So, anyone who listens to the podcast, if you join the All Random TeamSpeak, and me or Alec are on there, feel free to ask us to come play War Thunder with you, because we both really enjoy the game, and it's fun to
it's such a
get new
quick game
people.
to even start up, considering it's so impressively detailed and so massive. But it's quick to start up, quick to close. I mean, it's just a
And for
great
people
game.
that don't know, it is free to play.
Right, free to play. It sucks that you have to repeat these things. I mean, it's just like the whole fleet thing. Like, people don't know that it's even free. I honestly didn't think it was free. Now that I remember, way before you even started telling me about it, I had seen some of my platoon buddies from Battlefield and things like that making a couple of videos, and I was like, oh, that's a cool game. Whatever, you fly airplanes. And I thought it would be a paid game that you have to pay for.
No, it's definitely free to play. A lot of people try saying it's pay to win, but I would disagree, because a lot of non-premium things, because there is a premium system, are pretty good. I mean, you definitely do not have to pay to have fun.
Yeah, that's definitely, you said it right. The last thing I think we could close off with this is Bappa brings up the other issue that a lot of people have starting to play this game, is the whole starter planes and the reserve planes and all that. Don't be deterred by that, I guess, because
Once you're past those little biplanes, you're definitely gonna have fun.
Immediately, as soon as you get level 1 or 2, depending on the country you're playing as, you're gonna be able to buy some planes that'll make a huge difference from those initial planes. The reason those initial planes are there is, they have, some of them have great firepower, some of them have better maneuverability.
Yeah.
But at that point, you have to remember you're also trying to learn how to play the game. So they're not going to give you a plane that goes, 500 miles per hour, and you hardly know how to turn, and you just run straight into the ground. That wouldn't be as fun.
For people that haven't really gotten into it, there's a lot of people that they immediately choose the country they live in. Like, Americans like to choose America to fly. Yeah. That's not a good idea. I recommend choosing Russia when you're first starting, to get used to flying and getting used to leading your target and stuff like that.
Right, and speaking of the reserve planes that are powerful, Russia has the most powerful ones probably, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fly that for a while, get used to the game, and then later on switch to a country you like.
Right. Yeah, that's a good way to start it up. So go Russia.
Go
Kind of
Russia.
almost like America.
America.
All right, well, we got to wrap it up real quick. Thanks for stopping by, guys, for those of you that are listening on the live stream. And, like always, we
Subscribe
appreciate
to my YouTube channel.
we appreciate you guys. You should just have that, like, on an autoplay thing. You
Yeah.
gotta say it in the same voice every time and everything. Like always, you could download the podcast on everything, but if you're obviously listening to it already, you got it from somewhere. Check out the live stream, check out the YouTube places, check out the TeamSpeak. We actually have this TeamSpeak very open for you guys. You could rent a channel permanently for only $1. It's not a monthly thing, just a one-time price.
Yep.
And you could have your own little private channel or public channel, whatever you want, in the All Random Gaming TeamSpeak. And of course, you could help us support that server as well. And,
Yep.
yeah, next episode, I don't know, we'll do it whenever we have some good chunky information for whatever games we're playing.
Yep. I think I didn't get a single kill during that video, by the way.
I like how you stopped saying to subscribe to my YouTube thing on the podcast, but then you typed it in the live stream again. Base is like, just post the freaking link. Alright, guys, well, that's about it. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you guys next time for episode
Cheers.
17. See ya.